This is Linda from Lipstick Lodge, and I'm trying to finalize moving the white buckets and the green potato baskets over to the other side of the truck. And I got most of it done. I've got to get another board. I decided to split up the one layer of plant pots and lower all of them to one level. Because I moved it over here, I'm going to have more space to make a garden, and I doubt that I'm going to have enough time to put, you have to pardon the black flies, to put any raised beds in this year again. But I will be making another, pardon the black flies, making another area for potatoes. I'm going to grow a lot of potatoes this year. The black flies are out, yes, and I'm going to have to put on, look at me, my screen suit, whatever you want to call it. They're just little right now, so they're not really biting yet. I did, however, get a couple of bites yesterday, and they seem to be out and about a lot more today. Of course, with the rise in the temperature, that's what they're going to do. They're going to come out. But anyway, I'm going to show you my garden that I've got done thus far. At least you don't have to watch me flitting them with my hand. But at any rate, it's not 100% level. It's not 100% perfect. I just jacked it up on the left side on the inner edge with a block of wood. And what I'm probably going to do with this is, because they're so mismatched and unlevel, I'll probably just either get some stone or some bark mulch. Probably bark mulch would look good around the cement blocks, and put that around them so that it sort of masks, what's going on under the ground. It's really difficult to level here, because what you're doing is you're fighting, pardon the black flies, you're fighting under the ground. There's a lot of little mini tree roots, and that's what I found this morning when I was trying to get the, they're in my hair now. I was trying to get the top layer pulled back here to level it a little bit. I just gave up. I just said, nope, time for mulch. But you see what I'm doing here. I've got 2 layers of the white buckets. They're food grade buckets, which is what you really should be using to grow vegetables in. None of these colored things. I know I've seen people use the colored buckets and they're not dead yet, but the thing is that they tell you to start out with food grade buckets, and this is my second year using them. Those cloth buckets are basically have a hatch on them, and you open up the hatch and supposedly take your potatoes out. Well, I didn't bother last year. I just grabbed my hands or my little scooper knife and got them out. I got quite a few actually, but they were tiny because the growing season is short here. I didn't start planting till probably the last week in May, maybe the first week in June, some of the stuff, because I knew it was going to be really cold at night in spots. So, and actually it's going down to 26 one of the nights here. I always in advance check the whole week to see what I'm getting. And you can see by the buckets, you can see where it's totally white at the top. They've got to have some soil added to the top, just, to top it off. See this cage here? This had a tomato in it last year. And believe it or not, I was following one of the guys on Facebook about what to do with the tomato plants. And it turned out all my tomato plants wound up having very small yield. So I'm just going to take the lower leaves off this year, and that's it. I'm going to leave the sucker leaves. I've never removed sucker stems or leaves or whatever before, and I've never had a problem with yield. But last year I did. So I'm just going to take the lower ones off and, continue like doing what you're supposed to, like watering from the bottom and that, and not getting the leaves wet, which is very good advice. Now, see these hole things here at the ends of the cement blocks. What I did last year, and I'm going to do the same thing this year, I'm going to plant marigolds. And this year, I'm not really fussy about the red and yellow, but I thought, well, when I went to buy them yesterday, they didn't have much of a choice in, yet. So what I did was I bought the red and yellow. Red's okay. I mean, you know, it's it's a pretty color and all that stuff, but I kind of like the plain yellow or the orange. And then they tend to be large, though. That's the problem. I was looking on the ticket, trying to decipher my little metric, um, you know, stuff. And of course, I couldn't figure it out. And all I know is the lady in the gardening center said that they were supposed to get tall. And I says, well, mine didn't last year. But then look what I potted them in. I put them in the ends of the cement blocks, which probably stunted them anyway, which was to my advantage. At least they bloomed, and they were there to sort of protect against the mosquito population. But I think this is a good idea. I'm going to probably just put 2 lima bean plants in there and let them start climbing. And then what I'll do is I'll pull some of the rods that I have in the shed out and let them climb higher, and see where I go from there. See how well they do. I just got bitten by a black fly on the temple. Ugh. But anyway, and I'll just do a small walk around right now and show you a couple things. Again, I always have to be careful walking through here. The ground is pretty unlevel. This fire pit, when I moved in here, it didn't have these stones. I picked them up in various places, and what I did was I took the bricks out and gave them away, and I realized after the fact that they were there for a reason too. Oh, there goes another bug bite. They were there to protect against the roots burning up, and there's a lot of roots in here, as you can tell. Lots of roots. Lots of black flies too. But anyway, I bought this the other day. Very heavy, 24 by 24 patio stone with a brick pattern. I don't know why I bought the brick pattern. Probably paid extra for it, but oh well, whatever. And I'm going to turn it over and put it in the fire pit in the center. I'm going to dig down a little bit, as much as I can. Dig down to try and sink it a bit. The reason being, I don't want it sticking up too high. I'm not going to be building this fire pit too much beyond this. I'll probably eventually replace some of these smaller stones with larger ones as I can find them, because I'm not too fussy about the smaller stones, and I don't want to have huge ones to the point where I can't physically move them when I need to. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that patio stone down in the center there to prevent flames from catching the roots on fire. And they can do it. They've got a video that somebody made of Algonquin Park, which I live near, by the way. I'm sure many of you know that now. And I'm going to, I played the video at one point, and it showed the remnants, the charred bottoms of the trees where the roots and some of the roots under the ground became flamed up, and they actually burnt. And that's how forest fires start. So basically, and I am in a forest, as you can see. So I don't want to go there. I want to be able to live, and everybody else live here. So look at my axe. I was talking about my axe the other day. My voice is gone, sorry. A task axe. I guess task is the name of it. Whatever, I don't know. But check out the blonde color on the side where I removed the label. That's what the color of the axe used to be. It still works, but I envision, hitting a log someday, and the metal part of the axe stays in the wood, and then I try to remove the axe, and the handle comes up in the air. Because I guess I shouldn't have left it outside all winter. And I think I mentioned this before, but this axe, the snow eventually went above the back of the handle there, and it's at least, I'd say, 2.5 feet in the back of the handle. It's 2.5 feet in the air. So we had quite a bit of snow here, and yeah. And here's my little elf. I got this from my brother, and it's one of the things that I took with me when we took his furniture and stuff out of his apartment and emptied it out for the landlords after he passed away. I'm not an elf person, but I don't know, for some reason I took that, and it's resting in my tree trunk here. And I've got this from the other house. A home without a dog is just a house. Somebody that has an awesome pond in Windsor gave me that. He said he wasn't a dachshund person. He's actually a cat person. Someone gave it to him. So he says, I know that you love dachshunds. So he says, I'm going to give it to you. So there we go. It's kind of beat up. It got kind of weathered. I was using it to keep the fire pit, my BioLite fire pit, sort of blocked in the top from the rain and that. But whatever. This tree, by the way, is going to go. One of the limbs broke and fell off and just about hit my trailer. So they came and took the limb away, and he trimmed it a bit, and it's got to go. He knows that. Matter of fact, there's the other tree that's got to go. That monster right there. There's 8 trees there. I think I mentioned this before, and basically what happens in a forest is the seeds plant and they grow and they turn into big trees. This is actually 8 maple trees. I thought it was a birch. Don't ask me why I did, but I did, because there's a lot of birches here, I guess, but it doesn't even look like a birch tree. And it does have, there are maple leaves on the ground, and you're sitting there, duh, it's got to be a maple tree. But anyway, and there's also some elms in here, which I'm not sure where they're at, because I haven't really stared at the trees to figure out which is which too much, but I do know that that's a maple because I had a tree place come and gave me a quote for cutting it down, or them down. And like I said, there's 8 trees there. I guess they climb up the thing and grab it down piece by piece, so you don't have to move all your stuff. That's got to go also, because look at how close it is to my house. And it definitely has a chance and risk of hitting my house. So yeah. And I can't wait till I get my skirting done on this house. This stuff helped keep the cold out in the winter, but it doesn't look nice. And the part where it's raised up is going to have the wheel wells covered with flower boxes to match the color of the house. So it'll look a lot better. I figured it out finally, and then the deck is going to go the length of the house from the side to side. Actually, this is the front door, from side to side, so it will look more uniform. Oh, the black flies are really hitting me. You probably got 1,000 of them in my hair. Ew. Oh, there goes another bite. Ugh, one's on my mouth. They like to stick to your lipstick. So guys, whatever you do, don't wear lipstick outside. Ugh. Not when these things are out. They're so tiny, they just fly at you and boom, they're on your lipstick. There's my bird feeder. I moved my hummingbird feeder over here. I got to get another one. They get very territorial about their stuff and that, and they've been known to be very aggressive, and I've actually watched them fight over the bird feeder. I had 3 of them last year, 2 males and a female, and they actually fight over it, and they zoom in like warplanes and try to scare the other bird away. And there's a lot more hummingbirds in here than what I saw last year, but it's just that I got 3 of them coming to my house. And as soon as I brought that thing outside after I washed it and put the sugar water in, I had one fly right up to me as soon as I opened the door. I thought it was a bumblebee, and I had forgotten what they sound like. And yeah, they sound like bumblebees, only a heavier sound. And that's what it was. And then as soon as I put it on the feeder pole, I went inside and I looked out, and there was one right there. Yep, and he was hungry probably. So yeah. And I thought it was funny the other night. I was kind of yelling at Lacey because she had done number 2 here behind one of the trees. And while we were sitting with the fire pit, sort of near that chair, and Ray didn't know it, but I had watched her do it, and I'm going, okay, oh well, I'll have to pick that up later. And didn't have to pick it up. Guess why? Little brat ate it. Yep. She's a sneaky one. She'll Oh, excuse me. She'll turn around and probably eat it when she has the opportunity, so I gotta watch her. This I'm gonna leave here. You notice how I put a few of the rocks around it, and they got kind of misplaced from the winter, but I'm gonna leave it as a natural growing medium for little wildflowers that might want to perch on there. And basically there are some trout lilies that are trying to form there, and I won't be walking on it, so 7 years down the road they'll have flowers, and I think it will look awesome having the little yellow flowers on there. So I'm just going to leave it where it's at, which I can do that sort of thing with some of the features on this lot. And eventually I'll get her going. I got more logs over there from the small pine trees that Ray took down. And this is where I'm going to be putting the bark chips when I get that tree montage thing, or whatever you want to call it, monstrosity, taken down. Montage. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to put the path right along here to run right to the shed. And I think it'll look really nice. It'll divide up the lot a little bit, make it more like a lot that you would have it at home. And this is where my burn pile is. I'm going to leave that there until I can get rid of it. I'm going to use that for keeping the fire going. And I got some dry and wet wood off of the trees. Some of the trees were dead, and so they had to come down anyway. Look at that sky. Awesome, eh? Here's my little grow spot. As you can see, there's a bit of shade there. And it'll open up better when the sun is more moved over to the west. And doesn't that look pretty, my kayak on the truck? Yeah, it looks pretty. Matches my potato baskets. Ugh, yeah, the black flies are out. In probably another few days they'll be big enough to really bite you. And actually in town they had a sign up last year, one of them signs that you pay money for to put by the side of the road, they light up, talking about the black flies being here. It's like they celebrate the black flies or something. But anyway, yeah, I better go pick up that camera thing. Don't want to leave it there. Oh, here we go. I think I better end this video now while I'm ahead. Oof. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. This is Linda from Lipstick Lodge, trying to save my voice. Okay, if you like this video, I know it's kind of haphazard, but click the like button and subscribe. I've only got 3 more people to go before I've got 100 subs. So anyway, talk to you later.